I'm in the same clothes as I was yesterday, you guys, in the same spot in my bed. Okay, guys, I'm super excited. We're recording. Welcome to this week's Leadership Zoom. I am Lisa Fuller, and I'm super excited, as I am every single week, because we have been doing this, gosh, for like almost 2 years. I interview a different 200K in the company. I think I've interviewed like almost 100. It's crazy. And which is crazy to me that we have that many 200Ks in our company. But we have way more than that. Actually, Chas and I were trying to figure it out when we were traveling. And I think we were saying something like there's got to be at least like 500 to 1,200Ks. Like we don't even know. And it's just so exciting because that means this is a comp plan that people can get to the top of. That is a comp plan people can climb, and that's what makes this so exciting. And I never run out of people to interview, and I've been trying to get this lady for a hot minute. Um, but we were trying to see what was going on with school here in Arizona and her schedule with traveling, and she finally messaged me and said, "Yes, I'm ready." And I'm like, "Yay, Jami, you'll have to unmute yourself."
Good morning.
There you are. Yay. I want to look at you all pretty. Oh my gosh.
Girl, I've already done my quiet time. I've already read part of my leadership book. I've been to the gym. I'm an early riser, but I'm in bed by like 9 o'clock every single night. So
I'm like I sleep intermittently, but I'm usually still up by like 6 a.m. just because it's like, I don't know. I usually have messages coming in from the East Coast. It's like 9 a.m. there. I'm like, okay, I'm up. But I don't actually start getting physically ready until like 11 o'clock. So until after this is over. Jami, I am so excited to have you on today and hear like your total story and all the good and all the bad and all of it. And I wanted to start with kind of what you did before you even got into network marketing at all. Like, what were you doing? And then how did you find this industry? Did you do anything before Lavelle? And then how did you find Lavelle? And we'll go from there.
yeah, thank you so much for having me on. It's always a pleasure to be able to on another case, especially yours, Lisa, because I have so much respect for you, and just watching your team has been unbelievable. And the fact that we live so close, we need to be doing more together for sure. Like at least, a wine or something. Anyway, so yeah, Jami Lindberg, Chandler, Arizona. I am originally from the Pacific Northwest, moved down here to go to Arizona State and stayed. And my degree is in elementary ed. I never have taught school. I went into the airline industry and was a flight attendant for years. Got married, had baby number one, and decided I didn't want to be away from her. And so I started my own business called The Savvy Socialista, and we do graphic design work and websites and all of that kind of fun stuff. And so a little over 5 years ago, my sister started thriving and was bugging me about it. And I was like, listen, I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid. I'm not part of this. You're crazy. I don't know what you're doing. And I was not very nice about it. And she kept sending me stories and telling me to go to the fan page. And I kept reading the stories, and months later, I was up visiting her in Seattle, and she said to me, hey, so I'm having this local, and I really need somebody to kind of check people in and say hello to people and stuff. And so if you'll come, I'll take you for a margarita and Mexican food afterwards. And I am totally a sucker for Mexican food and margaritas. And so I said, well, what the heck? But I'm not going into the room. I'm not listening to the stories, and I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid. And she said, fine, whatever. Can you just come? So I went, and what are you going to do like in the lobby for an hour? And so I thought, well, I'll just go stand in the back of the stupid room, listen to the stupid stories. And I stood in the back of the room, you guys, in tears. I thought, holy cow, if all these people are going to stand up and share all these stories, like this product must really work. And let's be real, I am tired. I was napping every day. I was drinking way too much coffee every day. And I kind of thought it was normal, pushing 40 kids, running, both my husband and I have businesses. thinking it was just normal to be exhausted all the time. And so my mindset at that point towards the end of the evening was kind of, okay, well, maybe I'll check this product out. And then at the same time that evening, I met Kendra Morris, who's $1 million leader in this company and absolutely a godsend. And she said to me, Jami, do you really understand what the opportunity is here? And I said, well, I know a lot of people are getting free cars, but here's the deal. Like, I drive a sweet minivan. I'm good. I mean, all bells and whistles on my minivan. And she's like, okay, listen, girl, it is so much more than a new car. She's like, this opportunity can actually give you options for your create options for your family. And I sat back for a minute and I went, we were doing fine. My kids were in private school. We, had this nice minivan, but we weren't creating options for our family. We weren't able to really do a lot with our family. And so that was interesting to me. And so we had a little bit of more of a conversation and I said, holy cow, I'm doing this. I went back to my sister's that night. Bought an $800 pack with no rebates, no nothing, had never even experienced the product. And I jumped in with both feet. And I said, all right, if I'm doing this full force. I'm going 200K as fast as I can. We hit VIP 800, 1600, and 4K in the first 10 days. Mind you, I wasn't on the product until after I had been promoting for 4 days. And get this, I didn't even feel the product in my body until day 10. Nothing the first 9 days. So day 10, I woke up and it was like somebody had turned on a light switch. But the first 9 days while I am promoting and hitting all these ranks, I'm thinking, I'm drinking the Kool-Aid now. Oh no. But then on day 10, I woke up and just felt amazing. And so kept on. We hit 12K in 29 days and we went 200K in 9 months and have never lost my 200K, have, just continued to grow and continued to make things happen and changing lives every single day. And I'll tell you what, the very best part of this is helping other people have success in this business. So that's my story.
Yeah. I mean, it is like, it's so cool watching people that like, they need this. Like, it's like they're at that point in their life where like, this has to change my life. And they come in and you watch them just take a hold of this, and anybody can do it. That's what I love about it, is it doesn't matter what your background is or who you are or what happened in your past. You can come into a business like this and do what you want with it. And life isn't like that. Life isn't like that outside of network marketing. So, I was talking to you about this yesterday. I was like, I like to talk on this call about the crap that happens too, because I think that people think that once you hit 200K, it's just smooth sailing and it's so easy. And I mean, you've been doing this, like, how long have you been in? Is it 5 years or 6?
5 years.
5 years. I mean, 5 years, you just don't hit 200K and then it's just like, yep, life is perfect. Nothing bad happens. And, I have, gosh, I mean, in the last 10 years, I have lost people that I never thought would leave my team, that I thought were besties. And, they've taken people and gone to another company. I have never hit a bonus. People don't know that about me, but I've never hit a bonus in network marketing except VIP 800 and 1600. But besides that, like literally, Jami, I came into the company and they introduced the 200K. If you get $200,000, if you go 200K, the month after I hit it, I was like, no, another bonus I don't qualify for. It's, there's just been things obviously that, and then there's actually been times where I couldn't sign anyone. Like, why can I not find one person that I can sign right now? What is wrong with me? What kind of things have you hit in the last 5 years that have kind of set you back, or, put a bad taste in your mouth, or just put you down and you were like, man, I don't know if I can recover from this? And I will never say I don't ever said I wouldn't recover from it, but I've gotten down before.
Yeah, so I feel like we should probably like have a glass of wine to talk about this. So I'll just kind of give a little background, and I'm going to start by saying that my sponsor is no longer with the company. She has moved on. She is not with network marketing at all anymore, actually. So I was running. We were running together. We were making stuff happen. I was literally reaching out to everybody in my phone. That first night that I signed up, I sent 74 text messages and had 50 free accounts set up. Facebook wasn't huge. I didn't know anything about, there was no attraction marketing 5 years ago. I wasn't into doing a lot of social media stuff. I think I had like 300 friends. So it wasn't about the social media. It was about connecting with people and getting every single person on a three-way call. And I just had these blinders on. I missed gymnastics. I missed basketball games. I missed family dinners almost every single night for 9 months. I worked my freaking butt off and gave up everything for that 9 months to hit that 200K. Was it worth it? 100%. And things were great for that first 9 months. Great. My team was excited. We were doing all these things together. We went to Cabo and we went to Las Vegas and we did Thrive-Palooza. It wasn't Thrive-Palooza that year. And things were great. And then my upline and I had a bit of a falling out. She made a very poor decision on the San Francisco lifestyle getaway. And I said, I am not going to be a part of that. I had a lot of people on my team that did not like it and did not want to be a part of it. And we had a huge falling out. And for the next 2.5 years, she unfriended me, blocked me, kicked me off her team page, and then was a cancer throughout my entire team. Rumors, lies, tried to get me fired. I can't even tell you how many times. It was ugly. I was down and out. I cried myself to sleep almost every single night. It was rough. So when people say, I don't have an upline or my upline doesn't support me, don't even give me that. I mean, that is an excuse, because guess what? My team had no idea that I was struggling. And my team, I mean, there were definitely times where if they called me one-on-one and we were doing anything one-on-one, but I mean, I was so present. I've never taken a day off in this company. I was present all the time. I was venting up. I was working. I ended up connecting with Kendra Morse and Chris Collins most of you probably don't even know him. That they were helping me, like Mike Page, they were helping me like crazy. And Kendra Morse, by the way, at that point was eight up from me, but I knew that I needed help. I'd never done network marketing before. And so I connected with her to do all my three-way calls to help me with everything she couldn't run promos for me. I mean, I was at level 8 to her. But I just continued to connect. And then I worked with my girls that were hitting 40 and 80K. And I was like, I needed their help. We worked together to do living room locals and all of that stuff. And meanwhile, trying to, constantly manage how that was working. And let me just remind you in the beginning when I said my sister. So to make it even worse, this was blood that this was going on with. So guys, understand that there is crap that can happen. Would I do it all over again? 100 times over, because this is what happened through all of it. I reached up higher, and Kendra Morse is one of my very, very best friends. She's a true speaker in my life. She helps me build every single day. She helps me make wise decisions, leadership wise. And not only that, I figured out 200Ks that I respected, and I started reaching out to them. Hey, help me with this. How do you do this? And I was consistently looking for mentors. And to this day, those women and a couple men are still strong mentors in my life. They don't do three-way calls for me. They don't help me run promos, but they are mentors, and we work together. We kick ideas off of each other and share with one another. I never would have had that, plus all the friendships. I never would have had that if I hadn't had that falling out with my upline. If I hadn't looked forward, if I wanted to quit, guys, so many times. I was 200K. I had hit the $200,000 bonus that Lisa's talking about. I was the only person in the company that year who hit that $200,000 bonus. I'm not trying to pat myself on the back. I'm just saying. And they were breaking it up on every single paycheck, and I wanted to quit. I wanted to quit, and Kendra kept lifting me up and saying, you can do this. Mike Page would be like, you can do this. Don't worry about it. You're focused. Your team knows who you are. And I just stayed focused on that. I just stayed focused on, I have to be here for my team. I have to show up because there are people on my team that are running to get their auto bonus. There are people on my team who are working their rears off to hit 4K, and they need me to show up to answer those questions, to encourage them. And you best believe I wasn't going to give up on all of them. And now fast forward, my upline is no longer with the company, and my team has absolutely exploded. It has been, momentum is out of control. And I really believe, oh, and by the way, side note, the personal growth that comes with that, if you really dig deep and figure out what's my role in this, how can I be better? What do I need to take accountability for and make those changes? Boy, the personal growth in figuring those things out is huge. And Lisa, I've read of your post and kind of a little bit of your story, and really you have had kind of that feeling of having a narcissist in your life and all of that, like just really learning all those things and learning how I want to lead and what I don't want to do, and how I need to nurture relationships and love on people and figure out where people are at and meet them where they're at. So all of those things, guys, so worth the crap, so worth the BS. And get this, now 5 years later, I have this story to share. I have this journey to share to help other people. And I'm seeing other people where they, not the same, I mean, not sister and not all of that drama, but there's drama in every line. Let's be real. The majority of network marketing is women. We're not in an office together. We don't see each other face to face and get to give each other hugs. We don't know really what's going on behind the scenes because lots of us are in other states. So being able to kind of step back and learn through this really crappy experience has allowed me to build into other people. And that, you guys, that is just as good as the product getting the mama off the couch. It's just as good as getting the grandma who couldn't walk to walk her neighborhood. It's just as good of getting that dad who was so in a dark place and stressed out to feeling good and playing with his kids on the weekends. You know, I mean, it's all those things matter. And when you think about it, you are in the right place at the right time, because just like Lisa said at the beginning of this, I have never seen an August like this ever. Typically in network marketing, as I've heard and as Lisa mentioned, you know, August is a slow month, and this August has blown out of the water. That just goes to show you are in the right place at the right time with leaders in this company that believe in it. I mean, Jason and Paul and Drew have said it over and over and over. This was a company that they started for us, for promoters, and they have never let us down. They've continued to innovate. We have the best comp plan. And so work through the struggles. I promise you the other side of it is glorious. And what you can do with your story and your journey will change lives beyond just the product and help people live that life that they deserve, getting those auto bonuses, earning those, goats and double and triple promos, or double and triple commissions. That changes lives just on top of everything else. So there you go.
You know what? So there's so many lessons in your story. And I know that you hear this. I hear it. Every leader on here is probably like, oh my gosh, I've heard this. How many people have come to you saying, I don't want to make my upline a paycheck, or my upline doesn't help me, or look, guys, you're going to sign sometimes with someone that isn't going to end up being your cup of tea. Maybe you don't get along, maybe whatever the case is. Jami reached up. She wasn't going to let this kill her business. She was like, I'm going to go find somebody that can help me. And that's the ticket. You guys have several uplines. Like, it's, sometimes people don't mesh. And more times than not, people love their uplines. Don't get me wrong. It's not like, it's not like this is all the time, but it happens more, it's in my inbox. And don't let anybody dictate your success. Like, if you're going to quit because of something your upline does, to me, that's just, you were going to quit eventually anyways. You're looking for a reason at that point. And I just love your story because you didn't let that stop you. And you had days, I mean, I can't even imagine it being a family member. And, I've watched these types of things happen in the last 10 years where a family member signs and there's issues, and it can be amazing, or it can be something that you let money become between people, and it can be very eye-opening. And you can kind of figure out who people are sometimes. It's like, whoa, like this is crazy. And I completely understand the whole narcissistic thing. Trust me. Trust me. Because people can be very convincing. And when you've got people telling lies about you and you're wondering who's believing this stuff, and who don't, what about my character? And it can keep you in bed. It can keep you in bed. I remember when I first started in network marketing, if anyone said anything bad about me, I used to cry and be like, why doesn't this person like me? What can I do to make them like me? Now, 10 years later, I'm like, oh well, next. You grow such a backbone. And I love what you said about your self development, because I always say, I mean, you guys have heard this before. It's like network marketing is a self development business with a paycheck attached. Like, I don't even like, this has probably helped you grow as a person so much and navigate through things and figure out things about yourself. And we're always growing. We're always trying to become better. We're always trying to be better people. And it's a lesson. Every day is a lesson. I am so thankful you shared that with us. It's not always easy sharing that stuff, but I know that there's people on here today that needed to hear it, because I actually have someone that was in my inbox this past week about their upline and wanting to quit. So this was perfect. I know there's one person, I know there's one person for sure that touched. I would love to know, because one of the things that I think is kind of hard is, man, I'm 10 years in, you're 5 years in. People think it's so easy to grow your network. I think they think because we're 200K, people knock at our front door. Can I sign up as a promoter with you? I'm like, it's so
Yeah.
hard now. I'm out of people. I've got to add to my network. And like you said, when I started, social media was not a thing. Like, I had just started Facebook. I was on MySpace. Y'all remember MySpace? I had my own little song, my pretty little story. I'm like, where's MySpace? But I didn't have a network at all. My friends and family were like, what's that? And you had, like, it seems like you kind of had some sort of a network coming in, people that trusted you. And I didn't. I was like a flake. People were like, okay, what else are you doing, Lisa? Like, this doesn't make sense to me. But I kind of had to get out there and do it the hard way. I wasn't knocking on doors like Avon, but I was talking to people. I was doing expos and events, and now we hit COVID, and it's like, okay, we can't do that kind of stuff. And social media has become such a huge tool. I know for me, one of the ways I grow my network is like through Facebook groups. What are you doing? Like, do you use Instagram? Are you kind of just Facebook? What are you doing to grow your network? Because that's like the one thing we got to keep doing, or our business ends.
Yeah, for sure. So just to circle back and touch on something that you said, and then I'll move into that, is, you brought in here by somebody for a reason. And as many times as I was like, I do not want to make her a paycheck. I can't believe I'm making her a paycheck. I had to switch that mindset and be so incredibly grateful that she brought me in. This business has changed my life, my family's trajectory. It has given us opportunities like you cannot believe, and it's allowed me to help other people have those things. So I am now in a space where I have to continuously be so grateful for who brought me in, how it all happened. If it were all orchestrated and I signed up underneath the person that, it wouldn't be, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. Maybe I'd have a different QV, maybe all things, but really she brought me in for a reason. And so constantly throwing gratitude at that will help that mindset change. I sent a gratitude journal to one of my promoters last month or the month before, because she was really struggling with this, really struggling. And so I sent her a gratitude journal and I said, I want you for the next 10 days to write in this gratitude journal, the very first thing you're going to write is her name. Write her name and be thankful that she brought you in, because this business has changed your family's life. And that was it. She was able to make that mindset shift. So 95% of this business is mindset. So keep that in the back of your mind if you're struggling with your upline or your sponsor, is throw gratitude at that. How am I network? You're right. Like, how the heck, like I'm sure, Lisa, when you and I started, there was no PPA. And so I'm sure that my PPA was huge back then, like huge, I'm sure. And yes, I did have a network. I did have a lot of friends. I mean, I sent 74 text messages out to people that I had some type of relationship with because they were in my phone. It's different these days. It's different. I don't do the expos. I don't do all of that, but I've had to learn to step out of my box. So I am not a big fan of, and with COVID, let's just talk about, I was never a big fan of walking into my kids' school. Like, they can just come to the pickup line. Like, why should I park and go in? It's hot, waste of time. But when I was reaching out and not getting responses from, all right, expand my network a little bit. So I started walking in and creating friendships with the other moms. I started volunteering at my kids' school so that I could make new friends, so I could get my circle a little bigger. Guys, COVID hits, and I'm like, dang, how am I going to do this? Like, I wasn't a big group. I'm just not a big person on Facebook or Instagram. I mean, I put up my posts, and that's about, I mean, I'm good to get one a day. Like, my goal is to get one a day, and I struggle with that. So social media is a struggle for me. So I'm like, what can I do? So you know what I did? Totally out of the box. I have a Peloton here. I was going to EOS gym to lift weights by myself with my AirPods in. And I decided, okay, I got to switch something up. I got to meet more people. So I joined Burn Boot Camp. It's all women. Well, there's one class that's co-ed, but it's all women. And I'm getting there 10 minutes early. I'm staying 10 minutes late because I'm working out in the same spot so that I'm close. You know, they have us 6 feet apart. So I'm close to the same women, and I'm getting to know those women. And now, like, they have their own Facebook group. And so now I'm meeting a girl, asking her, and I'm going to the Facebook group and finding her, and I'm friend requesting her, and I'm creating conversations. And this all has happened in the last several weeks of building relationships, connecting with people, because I'm not going to just throw out Thrive. That's just not who I am. I want to build a relationship. And I believe that is so incredibly important. I hit Auto Elite the month that Auto Elite that they announced Auto Elite, and I've had Auto Elite every single month because I build relationships with my customers, and I make sure that they're happy and staying on the Thrive experience and consistently bringing in new people. So for me to bring in new people, it's either connect with my customers to get to their network, or it's getting out of my own way and meeting people and connecting with people and talking to people. And guys, I look like a hot mess. I wear a baseball cap. I mean, no makeup. It's like a totally different person. And I'm trying to connect with these women. I'm trying to, the other day I decided, all right, I'm going to go to the same lady in the checkout line at Sprouts every single time I go to Sprouts. And so every single time, and I'm starting to talk to her, have a little conversation with her, because I know I need to create a bigger network. I need to meet new people. So that's what I'm doing.
You know what? I love that you're talking about you're still doing this out and about, because that's how I built my whole business, face to face. Like, social media is not my jam either. It's so funny because the first time corporate ever asked me to speak on stage, it was about social media, and I laughed. I was like, why? I'm like, why? I don't even build my business that way at all. But it's so important. And I think the connection goes so much quicker when you meet people face to face. Like, social media, I really have to build a relationship. It's like 6 months later. But if I meet somebody like at Sprouts, they kind of feel like they already know me because it was in person, and it goes so much quicker getting them to sign as a promoter or customer. So people that aren't doing out and about, even with COVID, you still have to go to the grocery store. You still have to take your kids to school. You still have to do things like go to the bank. Are you taking advantage of that time? Wear your DFT, like where people can see it, like create conversation. And I'm like you, Jamie, I've never, ever, ever spammed anyone. I've never been like, hey, have you heard of Thrive? I'm like, that's not the way I go about it either. I'm all about like, I love your purse. I love your purse. Where'd you get it? But not usually jumping in that way. And that's okay. You just have to find what works for you, whether that is social media or out and about. But you guys are missing a whole ton of people that you're seeing every day when you go live life outside of social media. And it only takes one person to change your entire business. What if that one person is the lady checking you out at Sprouts and you never say a word? Like, that's the stuff I can't get to sleep over. I'm like, oh my gosh, what if that was the lady and I didn't say anything? I'm so stupid. But you have to like think like that, because I've watched one person come in and change 6 businesses all the way up. Like, it's crazy what one person can do. You know what you said? And I think we got to go into this. Y'all, if you don't know what the Auto Elite bonus is, that is not easy. I think there's like 4 people on my team that have done that. To keep isn't it 16 customers?
12.
12 customers. 12 customers Jami has to keep that Auto Elite bonus, meaning she gets $1,600 a month instead of $800. That is huge. But here's the thing. This is what kills me, Jami, and I swear I want to slap people. Why the heck do we sit there for months trying to build this relationship with someone, messaging them every day, courting them? We finally get them to sign as a customer and you never talk to them again. And then you wonder why the next month they cancel their order. What do you do to constantly, because that's amazing. Like, you're doing something to keep these customers. How do you follow up with people after you get them signed up?
Okay, so I feel like I could do a whole entire presentation on my customer service. This business is customer service business. And so I am huge on that. I do the recipe box, which is a whole nother story. If you haven't seen it, there's YouTube videos on the recipe box and stuff. But I use the recipe box. I think I had, between my account and Mike's account, and my husband doesn't even know his password. So that just gives you an idea of who runs that account. I think between both of our accounts, we had 37 customer auto ships in August. And right now, when I looked at September, I think we have 43 or 44. I am big on auto ship customers. Not everyone wants to promote. And even if they have their 2 people, they don't want to promote. I am not quick on flipping people to promoter. That's just me personally. In my mind, here's my mindset: 8% or 20%. What do I want to make on them? And if they don't want to run a business, I'm not going to ask them to run a business. I want to love them where they're at. And I just want to get them thriving for free, because then they'll continue thriving. So that's sort of my mindset on it. So when somebody signs up for a free account, I still sign everybody up with a free account. That's how I learned. That's what Paul was saying way back 5 years ago. And I still do that. I don't give out my link. I don't give out a business card. I get people's information and I do it. It also allows me to stay in control, right? So somebody gives me their email address and I set them up with a free link. Now I'm in control. I send them their link and I very quickly say, hey, here's your link. And I give them the Thrive 1231. I say, here's your link. Check it out. I do not give them their username or their password. I say, check out the website. I'll connect back with you in just a little bit to see what your favorite part of the website was. I am now holding the ball in my court. I now am saying, I'm checking back in with you. I'm not waiting for questions, because no one has questions. I'm not waiting for them to get back in touch with me, because everyone's busy. So, and I'm also not giving them their username and password, because I'm not going to let them log in and A, take the chance of ordering something wrong, B, take the chance of not ordering on auto ship, or C, looking at the price and going, I can't afford it, because I haven't created enough value yet for them to see that they can afford it. So that's where we start. And that is the beginning of a recipe card. And so the recipe card has their name, their username, their password, and their number, customer number. It also has the day that the link goes in, and how I know them. Are they a referral? Did I, Facebook, whatever. I always write how, unless it's multi-friend. I write how I know them. And that's the beginning of the follow-up, and how important the follow-up is for me. And so let me just kind of give you an idea of how good the follow-up, how important the follow-up is. This is a girl who got her link. She was one of my first 10, and she ordered, and she has never stopped ordering. So here it is. She's moved 3 times in 5 years. Here are every single one of her orders. So I am at the end of every single month, I pull out everyone who ordered, every card that ordered, and I send them a thank you note. It's actually a phenomenal job if you have a teenager within your home, somebody who, I think Hannah started doing this for me 10 years, or when she was 10 or 11 and had nice handwriting. She started writing the thank you notes, and that's her job. I pay her monthly to do that. And so every single month, my people get a thank you note, and I give I send something. Some months it's just one DFT. Some months it's a sleeve of Boost. It just kind of depends on what product I have here and what I'm going to send. This August, everybody got a Rest. If there's a new product, they always get a new product. And so that is what I do to keep people connected to me. I keep people thankful that, wow, she really is thinking about me. She's thankful that, and then a lot of times if they do flip to promoter, then they're doing the same thing. And a lot of people can't afford to do more than just one DFT. That's totally fine. You don't even have to do that. You can just write the thank you note. Nobody does thank you notes anymore. So do the thank you note. People love it. So I always block out time every single month on the 3rd, the 13th, and the 23rd. And I send a text message, and typically, you guys, it's a copy and paste. I if you do not, Lisa, I can send this to you if you do not have it, and you can put it in your team page. I had this created way back when Auto Elite started. It's my Auto Elite tracker. And so I can put down everybody who's supposed to auto ship, which you can find in your cloud. If you don't know how to do that, I'm happy to explain it, another time, or Lisa can explain how to find it. And then so on the 3rd, I will send every single person that's going to auto ship on the 5th a quick text message. And I'll say, well, usually I go through and look. I want to make sure that they're on all 3 products. Like, I want to make sure that they haven't gone in and changed their auto ship. I want to make sure that they're on all 3 products. So that's the first thing. If they're not on all 3 products, I will say, hey, your auto ship is getting ready to run. I noticed that you took the DFTs off. What's going on? Give me some feedback. And typically it's a 3-way call. I'm going to get them on a 3-way call, but kind of figure it out from there. But normally they stay on all 3 products. And so then so I'm sending them a message saying, hey, your auto ship's getting ready to order. How you feeling? Do we need to make any adjustments? Oh, and by the way, super, super excited that the Activate has changed. It's a 2.0 Activate, whatever you can make up, like whatever you can come up with. When Recharge came out, I will say something about another product, not because I'm trying to upsell, but because I'm trying to enhance their Thrive experience. And I will say something like, for instance, Recharge. I'll say, oh my gosh, I'm super excited. Lavelle just launched a new product called Recharge, helps with immune support. I have been doing it for 5 days. I am sleeping so incredibly good on it. I love it. If you'd like to add it to your auto ship, it's $40 to add on. And I'm giving you $10 off. So it'll only be $30. Do you know, I had like over half my auto ship customers add Recharge and have never taken Recharge off. So just ways to increase their, invest in them by those $10 in credits. Don't use your own credits. It's a tax write-off to buy your product. Use your credits to build your business. Don't use your credits to buy your own product. It's a tax write-off to use your own money to buy your product. But just different things like that. If I notice that somebody has skipped that month, I'm sending them a message. I'm like, hey, what's going on? I saw you skipped the month. Sometimes it's like recently I've gotten, you know what, I got COVID, so I was off of it for a couple of weeks because I just slept. Or I had surgery. And so sometimes it's as simple as that. Sometimes it's, you know what, I can't afford it this month. Girl, yes, you can. All right, here's the deal. I'm going to give you $25 in credits so we can get your auto ship going. And you and I are going to work together this month to get your product for free. All right, are you ready? And then I'm going through and then that holds them accountable to me because I've just given them $25 in credits. So what this all really boils down to is leading with confidence. I know this product works. I know it without a shadow of a doubt that this product helps anyone and everyone. And so leading with that confidence and helping other people have that, they can borrow my confidence any day of the week. And so I'm giving them different ideas on how to get their product for free and sharing it. I'm not giving anyone a second job. And I say that, I don't want to give you a second job. So I'm just going to give you some ideas. You tell me what ideas work for you, and then I'm going to help you all along the way. I'm going to give them verbiage to copy and paste to their friends. I'm going to say to them, hey, send me over a picture of yourself, a cute picture with your DFT and 3 things that Thrive has done. And I'm going to write up a quick, cute post for them to put on social media. I'm going to say, hey, put me into a group chat with a couple of your friends. I'm not giving them a second job. I'm just assisting them because I don't know their network. I don't know their friends and family. I'm saying to them, but you're sleeping so good. You gotta know a couple people that need the sleep that you have. And all of a sudden they're naming names. So all these things are all part of the customer service that you have to put in. So here's the deal. At the end of the day, you can work this business part-time, or you can work this business full-time, but you can't work it sometimes. You have to touch the business every day and be connecting with your people every day to continue to grow and continue to help people stay on Thrive, love their Thrive, all of that. Lastly, I'll say, and then I'll shut up because I know I talk super fast and I know I'm taking up way too much time. The last thing I will say on that is it's so important that we are on the phone talking people through their orders, that we are actually connecting with them and talking on the phone. If you choose not to talk them through it, they don't realize how invested you are, and they don't think it's any big deal to not order an auto ship or to skip. So my constant thing is always, it's not lying, it's just leading them to believe that they need to order an auto ship to get the lifestyle mix. I always say, okay, so now you're going to click on that first gray bar, and then you're going to scroll down to the second one. That is, and you'll see that there's free lifestyle mix. So press up 1 on the auto ship. Auto ship is no big deal. Just like you logged in to order right now, it's super easy to log in and edit and skip your auto ship, delete it anytime you want, no problem at all. But you want to make sure that you hit that up 1 on the auto ship, and then it'll show you 1 in today's order, and then you're going to get that free box of mix. Yes, they're going to get the free box of mix with ordering it not on auto ship, but they don't need to know that. Like I'm not lying. I'm just guiding them. But here's the deal. I have never once had somebody say my auto ship ran and I couldn't afford it, or I can't, because I'm connecting with them 2 days before their auto ship is going to run to remind them that their auto ship is going to run. That's customer service.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is why Jami Lindberg is 200K, because people aren't willing to do the work. Like, it takes work to make $1 million. It takes work to be an 80K, 200K. If you're not willing to go the extra mile and give this kind of customer service, it's one of the reasons why you're not keeping your customers. It's one of the reasons why you're not moving faster through the pay plan. And you mentioned so many things. Okay, so I want to start with this one. You said you're not in any hurry to get a customer to become a promoter just because they referred 2 people. Ding, ding, ding. I cannot talk about this enough. I don't know why everybody wants to upgrade everybody to a promoter. First of all, you're making less money. Second of all, 90% of people aren't going to do anything. The only way I'm going to upgrade to promoter is if they have something beyond that too. That's when I'm going to have the talk. If not, most people, of course I'll say, I go through the spiel, of course, but I am not pushing someone that isn't ready to run for VIP bonuses. What is the point, guys? And we're doing this too much. You're taking a perfectly good customer that you could be making 20% on and pushing your pay down. First of all, we're in a business, guys. It's not about like being selfish and keeping the money. It's about being a smart business person. And not only that, you're now kind of turning, in my opinion, being a promoter is about timing. And if you're pushing somebody into being a promoter when it's not their time, you kind of ruin it for them in the future when it could have been their time. So I always check base, touch in if we're running promoter specials or promotions come out, but don't be such in a hurry to upgrade everybody to promoter just because they can get 2 customers. So I want to say that because that is so, so huge. Second, the recipe cards. I've heard you talk about this before, and if you guys are not keeping track like that, how genius and how simple. But I had a question for you. You know how you said you start the account and you do the ID and password? When do you then give them the ID and password? And do you place the first order or they do it?
So they place the first order with me walking them through it on the phone. I never ever take anybody's credit card ever. I'm never going to take that responsibility of myself. And so I don't do that. But I walk them through how to order, and I'm giving them their username and password while they're in the account when I'm walking them through their order. 9 times out of 10, they don't even remember their password. And so there are times where they'll say, yeah, I want to add the recharge. And I'll say, okay, I'll just add that in because I have their username and password on the card. So
I love that
because
because you can because some people are just too lazy to do it. I'm one of those people. I am customers for other people and other things. And if they'll say, oh, you have to log in and do this and this, I'll be okay. Yeah. And then I just don't get to it because I'm busy.
Right.
So I love that you have control of that so that you can go make it super easy for them. You know, I've had customers before message me and say, can you cancel my auto ship? And I'm like, no, you have to do that. And I don't ever do it that way, but man, you're really changing my mindset on this because I've always been like, make them sign the free account, make them do it. But now I'm kind of like, I'm liking this. So I love this stuff. I love this call because it changes my mindset on stuff. I'm like, oh, I need to do it that way. You guys find what works for you, but man, this was gold. Like all of this was gold. I hope you guys took notes because these are the little things that you can start doing that can change your business, that can change the whole, how many people you're actually retaining, because it's not easy to retain customers. You have to be willing to put in the work, because if you're not going to put in that extra special touch, they're going to go someplace else, or it's just not going to be on their mind. I love it all. Jami, so good. When you sign somebody new, what do you like? I always like to ask this question because maybe you're doing something a little bit different than someone else. And I think the first 14 days are like the most crucial when you sign a new promoter. Obviously, not everybody's going to get the VIP bonuses, but we want to try. What do you do? Like if I was in your inbox today and said, Jami, I'm ready to do this thing, what happens next?
Yes. So again, I'm going to circle back to one thing. People are so quick to move people to promoter for doubles and triples or any of that. And that is a scary mentality. You need to be thinking long-term and be thinking, okay, I am building a legacy company for my family and I'm not building an empire for my next paycheck. And so if you can think about it that way, it changes perspective on the growth of your business, not necessarily how fast your business is going to grow, but if you're thinking about, I just want to make the most of my next paycheck and not thinking long-term, that's a huge mistake. And then also one other point, Lisa, that I want to make is please know that none of these are my grandioso ideas. I have just been a really, really, really good copycat, and I've had really great mentors. The recipe box came from Nikki and Charlotte Gullahorn. The thank you notes came from Beth Graves. I am constantly listening and learning, and then I'm making it my own. So what Lisa, what you said is so incredibly important. Find what works for you and do it. Don't waste your time trying, okay, I'm going to do the passion planner, and then I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to try the recipe box. You got to stick with one thing and work it. You, like Maria Dillard has always said, you got to do the do to get the get. So with that being said, I'll move into onboarding a new promoter. The first thing that I do when somebody says that they're ready to promote, or I'm talking to somebody and they're like, yeah, I think I want to promote. The only time that I actually will push the promoter side of things is when somebody's in the VIP 800 and 1600. Then I'm a little bit more into pushing for them to help get them that new promoter. But my first question always is, okay, kind of talk to me about your goals. Why do you want to promote? I want to understand where they're at and I want to meet them there. So because a lot of times they'll say, well, I want to promote because I want to get my product for free. Well, did you know that you can get your product for free as a customer? And sometimes they'll say, you know what? I'd love to be able to make $50 extra a week. Like $50 extra a week would really help to fill my gas tank and not have to stress about that. And then there are people who are like, I know a whole lot of people who need this product and I want to change lives. Awesome. So find out kind of where they're at. And then I set the stage. I go, okay, here's the deal. We're going to get you into a package that is, so it kind of depends. I don't push the packages unless for a VIP 800 or 1600 person. But at this point for mine, I'm not pushing the packages because let's be real, those packages count when the next lifestyle getaway gets in, but that's a whole other story. So I want to make sure that they have product on hand though, right? Like that's a big deal to make sure that they have product, that they are on the Thrive experience. That's huge. So kind of finding out where they're at. Have they purchased? Are they in the middle of the month? Where are they at? The next thing is, okay, here's the deal. You have 14 days to make up to $1,300 in personal bonuses. How does that sound to you? Are they excited about it? What's the feedback? What's the feeling that you're getting from that? And then we go from there. All right. So if you're going for that, we need to set some goals up. And I want to hear what their goals are. I want to know, are they ready for me to call them every day? Do they want me to check in every other day? I don't want to push and overstep, but I also don't want to sit back and not have anything happen. So a lot of times I'm like, here's the deal. You are married to me for the next 2 weeks. For the next 2 weeks, you and I are on the phone every day because you're telling me you want to hit those VIP 800s and 1600 and you're serious about it. By the way, side note, I always get every single new promoter on a welcome call with at least Kendra, if not Kendra and Mike Page. Always get new promoters on a welcome call. They need to hear it from somebody besides me. I'm getting them onto our team page. We've got some docs on the team page to help them kind of get through and understand exactly what that VIP 800, 1600 are. You have to remember that everyone learns a different way, right? Some people can hear it and understand it. Some people need to see it. Some people need to physically have it printed out on their printer and be able to write in who their people are. You know, all of those things are super huge. And then I'm also saying, okay, promise me you're not going to do anything without talking to me. Promise me that you're not going to let anybody order without talking to me, because we want to make sure that they order an auto ship, because if they don't order an auto ship, they're not getting they're not going to count towards that VIP. We want to talk to their people. They need a $400 pack. The $200 pack is a starter pack. It's a dumb pack. Like there's not even enough product. They can buy the 150 pack for cheaper. So it doesn't even give them enough product. 200 pack, dumb. Focus on 400. 400 pack is what, if you are coming in and you want to build a business with LaBelle, $400 pack gives you enough product for yourself, plus product to be able to get into the hands of other people, whether you want to sell it or give it away. Super important to have that extra product to get going. So again, it's just leading with that confidence. But you know, every single person that I bring on is different, because every single person has different goals and different priorities. You know, you'll have somebody who halfway through that week is like, listen, Jami, I've got my kids this and this, and my husband has this, and I've got this, and I can't give to the business for these 2 days. Okay, that's fine. I get it. Please know I'm here. I won't reach out to you for the next couple of days, but that's 2 days out of your 14 of getting to those bonuses. So kind of let me know. And you guys, at this stage, I'm sure, Lisa, you do the same thing. At 200K, everything I do within my business is extremely duplicatable. Everything, you know, doing the thank you notes, you can handwrite a note and put in one DFT. Everything is duplicatable that I do, except I do offer an additional bonus if they hit that VIP 800 and 1600, quite a large bonus, because that gets them even more enticed to do it. So can you offer something else? What else can you do during that time? Can you say, hey, get 3 people on calls with me and I will send all 3 people mini experiences. If you can get a person to, you know, on the phone with me who's thinking about promoting, then I can offer that person $20 cash back on a $400 pack. What can you do to help your new people build to hit those VIP 800s and 1600s? Because that they will duplicate that then over and over and over. But I'm big on the 3-way calls. I'm not a big fan of the 3-way chats. I just think that the 3-way calls, being on the phone, is just so much more impactful.
Oh, I do too. I wish more people would get over themselves and do it, because I literally have like been in talks with somebody trying to get them to sign as a promoter that I know they'd be amazing. And it's been like 3 months, and I finally get over myself and get them on the phone with like an upline, and they're like signing in 1 second. I'm like, why didn't I do this quicker? Why do I keep fighting myself? I know what to do. We all do it. I think, you know, we all get caught up in, I got this. I know what to say. But it just takes hearing it from that one other person that the light bulb goes off for people. I don't know why, but it just works. And, you know, something you said I think is huge is finding out where people are at. Like, not everybody, yes, do people, I mean, I'm sure 13, 20 in 14 days sounds amazing to people, but not everybody's willing to run and do that or has the time. It doesn't mean they won't be a good promoter in the future. It just depends. But, I think the biggest thing that you said is well, for me, I don't want to push people out. I don't want to be up their butt every day if that's not what they intended. And so many people will join a business like this and get turned off or pushed away because they just feel like they're being bugged or they're not living up to your expectations or my expectations. And what people need to understand is this is their business. It's their expectations. It's what they want to do. Love what you said about the 400 pack. You guys, the 200 pack, why? The 150, they could save money, just get them the 150 at that point. Like, why even try to sell the 200 pack? They need to understand the importance of that 400 pack. And it's just and it isn't even about the fast start bonus. It's not even about that for me. It's just about the fact that they're going to have things on hand to give to people so that people they need samples, in my opinion. I love, Jami, everything you said is so good today. There's so much good stuff. Really quickly, self-development wise, I always kind of like to end like this. What, you have any favorite books? Do you have any favorite podcasts? Do you have any like things that when you sign up somebody, you're like, you've got to read this or listen to this? And I know we all have a lot of the same books, but anything that maybe, like we always hear How to Win Friends and Influence People. Do you have anything that maybe somebody's not heard of that you're like, this is something you need to take a look at?
So no, not really. I think the very first thing is a gratitude journal. I think people need to focus on gratitude. That was a huge struggle for me. And so that is always number one, get a gratitude journal and make sure that you're starting out being grateful every morning. That's a whole mindset thing. But yeah, I think it's important to the beginning of every single month, I always share my goals with my upline and with Kendra, and every month, my goal is some type of leadership book. Right now, I'm in the middle, and I absolutely love it. Help I Work with People. Chad Beach, actually, I went to high school with him. He's a pastor out of LA. Actually, he's like the pastor like to Kardashians and like people on E and all these people. Anyway, there's a really cool church called Zoe. So he looks like, and he's just funny, and the book is really, really good. It's geared a little bit towards pastors, but a lot of just good leadership stuff. And he does like podcasts and stuff, and so I try to listen to those. I love country music, so I leave my country music on when I'm getting ready in the morning, but the rest of the day I try really hard to be filling my mind with leadership and that growth mentality. And it's not perfect every month. I'm not doing it every single month. There's some months where I'm like, screw it, I just want to read, some trashy novel or People magazine. But my goal is always,
I love it. 50 Shades of Grey.
Yes, exactly. I've tried really hard to turn the TV off, but sometimes I really like my Housewives of OC or Housewives of, Potomac or whatever.
Oh my God, Jami, you and I would be besties. I think I've seen every Housewives. People are like, what's your guilty pleasure? I'm like, oh my God, the Kardashians and the Housewives.
Totally agree. So yeah, I mean, there has to be a balance. That's like, I'm in my tacos and cervezas t-shirt. There has to be balance in every life, and I need to have some downtime, and the housewives can help me not worry about the drama that's going on within other things when I can focus on all their drama. So
I know, right?
I think, one thing I am very intentional about is not scrolling on social media. I'm rarely scrolling. If you pop up in my first couple when I open up my phone, but I try hard to follow people, non-thrivers, and comment on non-thrivers stuff. So that's important for me because I could get sucked in, and I struggle a lot when I see other people doing really, really well and I'm not doing as well that month, and that brings me down. And so
I was so going to ask you about that, the comparison thing. We're going to go a little bit over, but that I struggle with so much. Okay, I'm not even going to lie, but Courtney Glazer, I'm like, what is this chick doing? I'm like, why is she doing all this stuff? I can't. I mean, like, I literally get in my own head about a lot of things. And I think comparison is the thief of joy. Absolutely. Because I will be so excited about something and then I'll see somebody else and I'm like, wait a second, what am I doing wrong? Or like immediately I get down on myself. I think it's something that everybody struggles with. How do you like keep yourself out of that like hump or like that valley you can fall into with comparison?
Not scrolling on social media. You know, I
Block
do a
every
lot.
200K in the company.
I'll unfollow if I'm struggling. Sometimes I'll reach out to them and find out, you know, okay, how did you do that? What's going on? And, you know, some people will share, some people are Monty Stratton, and, you know, I will never have that kind of mind to do, you know, things on Google and all of that. And, but some people will share and kind of fill you in on what they're doing. And you're finding out that they use their waiting room really, really well, or lots of people are shouting out their entire downline and you think it's all their stuff and it's really all their downline. It's not necessarily theirs. It's not, I really have to remind myself that it's not always how it seems. It's not, it's there.
Amen. None
Mirror.
of us are going to go to Facebook and say, worst month ever.
Right.
Nobody's
Right.
going to say that.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right. So yeah,
Absolutely.
I try to dial back when I struggle. As a matter of fact, there have been months where I have just had to say, all right, I'm not going to be on social media. I'm only getting on to post and follow my stuff and be on my team page. And that's it. And that I remember when Dana Chuba came in and like freaking flew. And I love her to death. She's one of my dearest friends, but I was so jealous and I got so caught up in the struggle of that's when I started to realize, holy cow. And here's the deal. Because I have a true speaker in my life, because I'm talking with Kendra, I'm venting up, I'm connecting with an upline who is speaking truth into me and going, get off social media, get on your phone and start calling people. Don't worry about what Dana Chuba or anybody else is doing, you know, and that I have to consistently remind myself of that, or I can get sucked right back in.
Yeah, it's just be mindful of it. And sometimes if you just have to hit that block or ignore button, do it for a week, whatever you have to do. But you guys just know your journey's your journey. Like it's crazy. And we all hit different times, you know. I was looking at Courtney Glazer and then going, wait a second. I have to remember that when I came in, I was there. You know what I mean? We all have these ups and downs, and it's times where we seem like we can't do wrong in our business and times where it seems like we can't sign anyone. My PPA went to 0 like 2 weeks ago. And I was like, whoa, what are you doing? Like I was just in a funk and not being able to travel and COVID. And I totally got out of my groove. And I was like, oh, this is not happening. And what did I do? I got on an airplane. I had to get to somebody. I'm like, okay, I cannot let COVID do this to me anymore. I'm going to wear my mask, be safe.
And let me interrupt you really quick. When you're seeing those massive numbers of PPA, you have to remember that you can sell the new chips or a bottle of Sculpt and have a 1 PPA. So put it into perspective. I remember Lisa, when Paul said, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, that month of May, the month of May was Strive for 5. That really struck me. And my goal has always been Strive for 5. 5 Thrivers, 5 people ordering the 1, 2, 3, the Thrive experience, not a bottle of Sculpt, not the new chips, not the Thrive Bites for 1 PPA, and really kind of setting back and going, it's it's building a legacy business and not for the clout or the stage. I'll just say this. I have been on every single Thrivepalooza stage since I started. I have been in the Thrive magazine. I have been on so many calls and all this. It does not build your business. It does not change the future for your family. Is it fun? Yes. Do I love the mic and the stage? Yes. Do I love my magazine? Yes. Has it changed my business? Not 1 ounce. It has not gotten me a new promoter. It has not made more money in my paycheck on Tuesday. It's fun, but it doesn't build a business. That PPA of having full 150s, that's what builds the business. So keep that in the back of your
God. Amen. Yeah. Like a lot of people get down on these PPAs, but it's a Sculpt and then they gave them, $75 in credits. It's like,
exactly.
You don't know. the pretty picture that we see on Facebook sometimes, I always tell my team perception is reality. You can make anybody believe anything. And behind the scenes, it's a completely different ballgame. Concentrate on getting those good orders. I would rather have a 3 PPA with 150s than a 10 PPA with 25 with everybody. And the other thing you said, oh my gosh, that was so good. Don't use your product credits on you. Like, y'all, business write-offs. You guys own a business right now. Pay your kids. That's a tax thing. Like, I pay my daughters, and that is 100% tax write-off. And getting like your credits to people in the cloud office. Don't ever do more than like 15 bucks off of 150 or you're not making anything. Like, it's just, I think we need to do a Zoom at some point, like a bunch of us leaders, on just these little things that people just don't get, like that are really killing their business. And the waiting room, Beth Graves just messaged me and said, hey, do you have a video on the waiting room? And I'm like, you know what, I don't, but I need to do one. And she's like, let's do a video this month. I'm like, let's do it, because so many people don't know how to utilize their waiting room correctly, and that could make or break your business, like, totally. Oh my gosh, so much. Jami, you were amazing. If people don't have a page full of notes, then y'all need to listen to the recording and make sure you get your page full of notes, because there were so many golden nuggets in this and so many little things that just gold, little teeny things that you said that it's like that can change a whole business. One little thing that you change or do differently can totally turn your business around. And it's getting on these calls, just like this. I'm not the only one. Like, we're all doing Zooms. And when you can catch one, guys, get on one, especially if you're new, because you never know what somebody's going to say that you're not doing, and a light bulb goes off. It's huge. So Jami, gosh, thank you so much for taking an hour out of your life to be on with everybody and share today. I appreciate you. And you're right, we live too close. As soon as COVID's over, we've got to do like a big training or something. This
Sure.
is
I'm in.
we have to. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I know everyone on here appreciates you. To all of you guys that got on today, thank you for pouring into yourselves. It's payday. Hello. It is September 1st. It is like, y'all, whatever happened last month, good or bad, erase it. Your life starts today. Set your goal. Where are you right now? Where do you want to be by the end of the month? It could be sign my first customer this month. It could be sign my first promoter. It does not have to be set something, but don't look left or right. Don't think you've got to go 4K. Just move forward in some capacity. Do something this month. Set a goal that you've never done before. I promise. If your mind is there, your mind is right, and you plug in, you are going to reach that goal. I'm super excited to see where September takes everybody. Thanks again, Jami. Thank you all. See you next Tuesday. I think I have to wait to hear back from her, but I think Missy Kremp is going to be next Tuesday's call. So hopefully, fingers crossed, because for some reason she was supposed to be in August and then something happened. I'm like, Missy, what happened? So I think we're going to get her next week. You guys are definitely going to want to plug into that too. Bye, guys. Happy Tuesday. Happy payday. Thanks, Jami.
Thank you.